Hi, I'm Ken Gray from Cisco Systems Core Routing Business Unit, and I wanted to talk to you about technological innovation and economic demand, and particularly how they apply to the internet video boom of the past 5 years. Think of it as a cycle, a very closely coupled cycle, where economic demand leads to technological innovation, which leads to more demand. For example, everything kind of started with the innovations that led to low-cost personal computers that had more capabilities than any in the past, that led to more consumers having or being able to afford a PC. This drove demand for more internet access, which drove innovations in access technologies. For instance, the innovations that led to DSL, cable modem, even Wi-Fi. This brought about more bandwidth, which made the consumers want to download content that used to take a long time over dial-up lines more readily and quickly, which led to the video boom directly. In the background, there's another cycle of innovation and demand that is going on to satisfy the demand for content, and that's in the service provider market. That's the telephone companies, the cable companies that are providing you internet access, and that's the market that I deal with. In that market, the demand for content and the number of users accessing the internet has led to backbone bandwidth requirements that led to innovations from my company, such that over the past 5 years, the average backbone capacity of the internet service providers out there has increased almost 1,000-fold. So where does multicast come in all this? Multicast is one of the technologies that is part of the video boom. Today in internet video, multicast plays a part in live content. For instance, broadcast television over the internet radio, live events like Yahoo's March Madness. These are all most efficiently sent from a single server to multiple viewers at the same time with one copy that's replicated at different points in the network using multicast technology. Service providers are really interested in efficiency as far as bandwidth goes because that's where they incur their most cost. So unfortunately today, most of the video that you watch on the internet, or most of the internet video that's part of this boom that comes from consumer demand, is what we call streaming unicast, or video on demand. With video on demand, say 1,000 of us want to watch a YouTube video, we actually end up, because we all try to access it at different times, sending 1,000 replicates of that, or replaying it 1,000 times as far as bandwidth requirement goes. So the way that service providers address this is through another cycle of innovation. They cached the content using caching servers in access points closest to you, the consumer, not actually at the source. So the first access would go to the source and it would be cached closer to you so that subsequent accesses wouldn't take up the service provider's bandwidth. This unfortunately doesn't scale very well. So more and more servers themselves need access to the internet, take bandwidth, and that also costs money. So the more videos that we watch, the more caching servers that we need. This is where an innovation cycle is happening in multicast. Soon you'll see multicast replacing unicast by new media players that will be available for your computer that will allow multicast, or allow the server to play one copy continually over and over of a particular video and allow us to join it in stream and catch up seamlessly. And this will replace streaming unicast. So again, multicast is part of the revolution, but think of it as a cycle of economic demand, consumer demand particularly in consumer electronics, driving another cycle of innovation, driving another cycle of demand.